As a lifelong Patriots fan, I've been dreading this day where the AFC is no longer mine. All right. Now, I want to know what you guys think about the AFC East.
Here's the thing. I mean, I know it's gonna be a little bit shocking, but I'm not necessarily gonna sit here and pretty much like wink the Buffalo Bills as much as everybody else is. I personally still have them winning this division. I know it's kind of ironic with my last statement and all. I have them winning this division at 11-6. I think they're all gonna be up on each other at the top. Now, hear me out. I think the Buffalo Bills are a very good team. We've seen what they did last season, even though it's a very huge surprise to me, mainly because I had Josh Allen being an absolute bust. I personally thought he was 100% not necessarily going to do anything in the league. Turns out I was wrong. Number two, I'm going to have the New England Patriots. Now, here's the thing. The quarterback, I don't necessarily think it's pretty much going to matter that much because I personally really, really like Mac Jones, and I also really, really like a healthy Cam Newton. I know it's going to be difficult, man, because the last time that we did see a healthy Cam Newton was pretty much like at the beginning of last year. He was in MVP talks, but of course, the last 10 games that he did actually played looked absolutely putrid. He barely got over 150 yards in an actual game. I personally think the New England Patriots are going to come back this year a lot healthier. One thing that a lot of people don't necessarily realize is that they were pretty much hit the hardest with COVID, man, because a lot of their players actually opted out. And we're talking about the defensive side of the ball, not even the offensive side of the ball. One thing that people do forget is that the New England Patriots 2 years ago with Tom Brady, they were a very good team, excuse me, record wise, a very good team because of the defense. Tom Brady didn't do much on the offense because of obviously he didn't necessarily have the requisite weapons. And I personally think it's going to be almost the same thing. I think their offense got a little bit better, but I personally think the defense is going to be a lot better than they were last year. I think because of that, it's probably going to help them go up until like a solid 10-7. Now, of course, the Dolphins as well. I also got them 10-7. I think this right here is going to be the year of Tua Tagovailoa. I know it's going to be a little bit difficult. It's going to be a little bit difficult, but stick with me. The Dolphins have a very well-rounded team. I think they're going to be absolutely amazing. Tua Tagovailoa, I think he's going to take the next step. Last year, he was about 1,800 yards, 11 TDs, 5 interceptions. Absolutely amazing. But the New York Jets, this right here is one of my favorite teams just because I love to see them pretty much rage every single time, similar to the Kings. I watch a lot of their podcasts. I actually do like their new quarterback, Zach Wilson. I personally have New York Jets at a solid 4-13.
13.
They're going to be better than last year. We're going to have a lot of close games, but still not going to look good.
I feel like we're agreeing on a lot today as far as like where teams are placed because I as well have the Bills at my first place and the Patriots second. Bills, I got them going 12-5 just because they're obviously the best team in the division, best quarterback, best wide receiver. They have a defense, just best all around team in the division, right? With the other three teams, this is where it kind of gets tricky. Now you got the Patriots. I got them coming at 10-7 at the second spot. I mean, they still have Bill. You can never count out Bill, and they actually, like you said, got hit with COVID really hard. Guys like Patrick Chung and Hightower weren't available. So I feel like reinstating all of those guys. Plus, they spent some money this offseason. They actually decided to get some fresh bodies in the organization. So we're gonna see what that's about. You give Bill anybody, just some guys that's motivated to play, and he can make something happen. I think Mac Jones or Cam Newton, who's going to be QB1, we don't know. I got a lot of respect for Mac Jones. I think a lot of people are, they were surprised to see him go there, or they weren't happy with that pick. But stay tuned, Mac Jones. Just because he's not a mobile QB, I mean, for the last 2 decades, immobile QB has dominated the league for the most part for that organization. Dolphins, I got him going 7-10, just because I don't think it's Tua's year just yet. And that's really it for that. And then the Jets, I got them coming in at 2-15. I mean, the Jets are just a horrible organization. They don't have anything. I mean,
My goodness.
you can say Zach Wilson is this, Zach Wilson is that. Zach Wilson is a question mark in my book, but and 2-15 is being generous. I think they'll still maybe one game from the Dolphins, and then if they play like a team like the Texans, they might steal that game. But 2-15 is their ceiling for me.
Okay, so right off the bat, I live in the New York, New Jersey area, so please, let's put some respect on the Jets' name. You feel me? We got to walk these streets, right? All right, so to start off the list, I have the Buffalo Bills. I got the Bills going 13-4. I see them running away with this division. I don't know if it's going to be for a long time, but definitely for now. Because Josh Allen and what they got going on, Bills Mafia, it's scary. They're a real threat to the Kansas City Chiefs, and I mean that. All right, now coming in second place, I don't have the New England Patriots. I don't have my beloved Red, white, and blue Patriots. I have the Miami Dolphins at 10-7. I think 7-10 was a little harsh, Tyler. I think they're getting better. They're playing more as a unit. Tua's, hopefully he'll get bigger. Hopefully he'll realize I'm not gonna be in the league for a long time. If I stay a little pipsqueak and I break really easily, I need to get tougher. I need to get bigger. So hopefully Tua, he does his thing this year. He gets better. Now I have my New England Patriots. I can go on all day about these guys. I have them going 8-9 in third place. For the first time in who knows how long, I see us being under 500. And that's because I feel like half the season is going to be for Cam, and then the other half, Bill's going to put in Mac, and I don't see it functioning a full 17 games. I don't see them even being close into playoff contention, and I feel like I'm just going to have to get used to it as a Patriots fan. I was spoiled in the beginning, and now the reality is settling in that we're not a powerhouse anymore. Now, the New York Jets, I don't have them going 2-15 again. That's a little crazy. I have them going 6-11. All right, I have the Jets going 6-11. I feel like with the new quarterback, a new head coach, they got all that bad juju. Adam Gase looking around all crazy in his. They got that out of here. They got that and they moved it the fuck up out of here. I don't know where they sent him, but he's not there anymore. And I feel like that was the first step into the Jets being a respectable franchise. Before, they were the laughingstock of the league. There was no reason they should have been in the NFL. Granted, they had people saying that they should take Alabama and just replace them with the Jets. Like, the Jets were terrible, okay? But now with the change in quarterback, the change in head coach, I feel like the franchise is going to take a turn towards a winning season. All right, they're going to be 6-11. Hopefully, they'll get better throughout the years. But I don't see them going 2-15. That's a little harsh.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, let's be honest. The Jets aren't necessarily going to be making the playoffs anytime soon, but I don't necessarily think it's going to be any fault to the New York Jets. I personally think they have a very difficult road in their division. You have the New England Patriots, you have the Miami Dolphins, you have the Buffalo Bills. That right there, those three teams, in my opinion, are going to be absolutely elite. We have to put some respect on Robert Sala's name. He was an elite defensive coordinator for the 49ers. I personally think he's definitely going to be a very good head coach. His overall aura is possibly going to be very, very, very good for the city of New York. And I personally think it's just going to be a very good fit. I just don't necessarily think that they could possibly do anything right now. You have to put some respect on Tua Tagovailoa's name, period. Tyler, come on. What are we doing here? Tua Tagovailoa, he has been so much disrespected. I think one of the main reasons why he's so disrespected because Brian Flores had a very quick leash. Tua Tagovailoa, he didn't necessarily have the privilege to play on a garbage team. Tua Tagovailoa, he's playing on a potential playoff team. They were 10-6. They should have made the playoffs in any normal division. You feel me? He got pulled, rightfully so, because he was making rookie mistakes on a playoff level team. I personally believe if any other quarterbacks, for example, like Joe Burrow, had the mistakes that he had in Cincinnati, potentially on the Dolphins, he would have been getting pulled as well. I don't necessarily think that Tua Tagovailoa, the slander that he gets right now, is justified. But
I don't deem it as disrespect. I mean, 7-10 as a second year QB is it's not terrible, you know. I mean,
that's terrible.
we could go back and talk about how he got his spot took in college and he had to transfer, but we don't talk about that.
In the middle of a championship game, I'm sorry, I just had to throw that in there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So we don't talk about that. Now, I do like what I'm seeing in Miami, don't get me wrong. But I don't know, I just don't see it, man. I don't see them getting past 7-10. That third year is really when you see who a QB is. So we'll have this conversation the season after this to see what he's really about.
And another thing is going to have to be the defense. I personally think their defense is definitely going to be absolutely elite. A lot of people don't necessarily realize this, but the Dolphins, of course, their quarterback was Ryan Fitzpatrick, so people don't necessarily assume that they were winning games because of their offense. But their defense really stepped up to the plate. They were the number 6 ranked defense in the league last year. I think that could definitely continue. And even if you don't believe in Tua Tagovailoa is going to be the same thing in regards to the Pittsburgh Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger, their defense might be so great that they're going to have to win some games. I don't necessarily think it's going to be as much as like the back in the day Broncos or like the Patriots from a couple of years ago, but I think they could definitely carry a couple games.
Definitely stay tuned. Let us know in the comments down below. If you live in the New York, New Jersey area, you're a diehard Jets fan, definitely let that man in the black shirt know that the Jets are here to stay. They're going to be better. They're not going to go 2-15.